Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Not Content Podcast. My name is Jerome Cuson, joined as always by my friend Brian. As always, leave a 4 or 5 star review on Apple and Spotify to get those algorithms going. Click like and subscribe on YouTube. You want to do that because we are doing YouTube exclusives discussing the second season of both X-Men 97 as well as Batman Caped Crusader. We are not putting those episodes to clog up the podcast feed. So definitely check out YouTube. We banked a couple of the Batman episodes. We are going to be recording the finale for the X-Men 97 this week, as well as Batman later on. We are continuing our discussion of the Scott brothers, though, as we are discussing Tony Scott's True Romance with a script written by Quentin Tarantino. And we'll get into the incredible cast that is in this movie. But, Brian, before we do all that, are we responsible for the death of Dory Funk? That's the big question on my
Oh
mind right now.
man, it was my idea to do brother tag teams. It was my idea to do a brother thing. Oh man, I feel bad, and we didn't even mention them on the podcast because they were the prior era. So go out and check them out. I mean, Dory Funk Jr. I think very underrated in WWF. Hell of a run. If you find his '70s stuff and '80s stuff tolerable. I know some people don't necessarily like that era, but if you like the technical style mixed with that hard uppercut style that he's known for, go check him out. I actually recommend I think it's the Funks and Road Warriors in Japan. They actually had a one match together. Wouldn't you know it, it's a bullshit finish, but that's probably like the height of their powers in Japan, I would say, in terms of like a brother tag team duo, especially going against the Road Warriors. So I recommend checking that one out. And Dory Funk Jr. in the WWF 86, but what can you say? At least him and Jimmy Hart had fun, and Terry Funk kind of left him hanging for like 3 months, but what can you do?
I don't know. I mean, rest in peace, Dory Funk is all I can say. And as much as we talk about his wrestling career, cannot forget the fact that he was one of the primary trainers in the late 90s, and probably his most famous pupil is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, obviously regarded as kind of a natural from the first time he stepped in the WWF ring, but got to give Dory a lot of credit for being a trainer as well.
And booking
Like,
him, because you know the story about how after two training sessions or three training sessions, he put him in the ring immediately for a match, which
yeah,
is unheard of, which
yeah, it's
tells
kind of
you, and he knew it too, and he trusted him, and he was right. So there you go.
absolutely. All right, let's talk about True Romance, a movie that came out in 1993. It did not do very well, but it has since become one of those movies that I think has benefited from being on home video, not just VHS, but DVDs, Laserdisc, Blu-rays, and it has developed quite a reputation, not just because of who the director is, but of course, Quentin Tarantino, the writer. What a cast. We are talking about Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, Samuel Jackson, Gary Oldman, Michael Rappaport, Saul Rubinek, Chris Penn, Tom Sizemore, Bronson Pinochet. The list goes on. I feel like I've forgotten a couple people, but that is just an amazing cast of people. And you've got people kind of at the top of their peak of their powers, I would say. You've got the cinematographer from Top Gun and Beverly Hills Cop 2. You've got Tony Scott coming off, a great streak of movies. And then this one comes out, doesn't do very well, but this is one of the more fun movies that I think we've discussed in a while because I think you have to walk into this movie with the understanding that everything that is happening is pretty much preposterous. It's not. I don't think you get. I think Tony Scott is directing this movie sincerely, whereas I think Tarantino would have done it very differently. I think Tony Scott is actually playing it straight, but he's treating this like a fairy tale and not like a Tarantino script. Does that make sense?
For sure. And he's got more of a general audience in mind because, like, Hans Zimmer does the score for this. If Tarantino does the score for a movie, he's not having like music like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna have like source music or like actual soundtrack music, which you get a mix of in this, but like you actually have a score from Hans Zimmer, which kind of doesn't mesh well with the style of Tarantino. So you can see the Tony Scott influence right there. And I can see why kind of, he went with that direction. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously scenes with like Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken would have like no music, right? In a Tarantino film like Inglourious Bastards, like the beginning. In this case, he put this kind of like undertone kind of music.
It's Italian music. Anytime Italian
I
music
mean,
plays, you
you
know
know, it
somebody's
kind
gonna
of
die.
works. It kind of works, but you can only imagine the silence and the tension that would have elevated it a little more. So it's a kind of a give
I
and
mean,
take. You know what I'm
maybe
saying?
I don't.
It's a
I
give and
think
take.
there's some give and take, but I mean that scene is still great. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I mean, it's the actors, it's the script. Like I think that scene is almost impossible
To me, that's
to screw up.
like an acting class within like a 15-minute scene or 10 minutes, whatever it is. But you know what I mean? It's like you learn so
Yeah,
much from about acting in that one scene. It's like unbelievable. And nuances and like character flaws and character details and stuff like
like
that.
Dennis Hopper is clearly kind of a shitty dad who was an alcoholic,
I wouldn't even
but
say that. I think he was like a good dad that like kind of redeemed himself for being an alcoholic. That's the vibe that I get because he keeps saying he
no,
doesn't
that's what
want
I was
beer.
gonna say. It's like in the end, like the moment he, like to me, I always read the moment he takes a cigarette as that's the moment that he knows he's gonna die.
Right, because it's
Right?
his last cigarette. Yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great moment. It's fantastic and you kind of read what's going to happen, but you want to see how it turns out and that's kind of what Tarantino's known for because to me one of my favorite Tarantino scenes is the beginning of Inglourious Bastards where that tension is through the
I mean,
roof.
I think that might be the best scene in that movie, and I think that
I think the second
I
best scene is also the one where the other tension at the table with the cream, right? And the
yeah.
pie. Yeah, that's again more tension because you
I
know
mean,
certain details.
I think Inglourious Bastards is Tarantino's best movie, and
Me too.
I think it's because I mean I still think Pulp Fiction might be my favorite of his, but I think Inglourious Bastards. I mean, there's so many iconic scenes
And
in
the
it,
tension is
and
like unbelievable in that movie to the point where like I remember watching that like Christmas Day as like a family with me, my brother, my mom. I remember the exact moment my mom goes, "Does he know? Does he know it's her?" Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a great general audience moment you want to have. So he's great at this tension, and this scene is exemplifying that. And I love this scene to death. It's one of my top five of all time. And in terms of this plot, yes, it's a fantasy plot. I always dislike the beginning, and I dislike the trope of two people getting married and falling in love after a day, and you kind of have to throw that out the window,
I
right?
mean
It's a
I think
Princess
that what
Bride kind of thing, right?
it's ridiculous, but again, that's why I come back to this idea of it being a fairy tale, right? And I think that I sort of agree with you, but I do think they have really good chemistry, and I think that that carries the movie. Like clearly, Clarence is the first male figure that has ever been nice to Alabama, and Alabama is the first woman to ever give Clarence the time of day. So that's why they get married, right? So I think that's the logic. And again, I'm not saying that it's realistic, but I think that's how they ended up getting married. And I love the way that Detroit looks versus Los Angeles. Like you really feel the difference, and that's why I love the idea of location shooting because you can really set up that contrast. And I pointed this out to Brian earlier. Like this is the second movie in 6 years where Tony Scott has a character driving from Detroit to Los Angeles because Beverly Hills Cop 2 of course, has Eddie Murphy doing it, and the context is a little bit different here because we're talking about a romantic plot, but they come together at the end. I mean, Christian Slater is basically playing a Quentin Tarantino like character, and goes to see a bunch of kung
The
fu
Elvis didn't
movies.
give it away. The whole Elvis shtick that he's
I
known
mean,
for, that he was
yeah,
known for on the Golden Girls, if you didn't know, which he cameoed
yep,
on.
yep,
So the obsession is there. He's pseudo Tarantino, and you can tell by his coat, right? Because that's totally, I think, this coat from like 93, 94. Like, I just feel like it is. And of course, we both noticed the Travis Bickle jacket, which I guess we never even noticed until now, which is amazing because
yeah.
it's
You
not
definitely
really
get.
emphasized. But I mean,
I
obviously,
mean,
the clues, what the prostitute, the movie theater, the intense look on the screen, like that's all Travis Bickle, and you get that all in the beginning.
well, here's the other thing. Like to me, is that this is a movie. I think Tarantino is kind of going for a 70s vibe. And I think you know that because of kind of the actors that got cast, like Dennis Hopper directed Easy Rider. That's kind of the movie that originated New Hollywood. Christopher Walken, Deer Hunter gets mentioned in this movie. Christopher Walken, of course, starred in Deer Hunter. You've also got like the original ending was Clarence is supposed to die in Tarantino's script, but obviously when Tony Scott becomes the director, it changes a little bit. And again, I think when you're playing this movie sincerely, I think you have to have Clarence live. Like I don't think you can get away with it with the way that this movie like I think if Tarantino shoots this script with the exact same words, not a single thing changed, I still think it's a completely different movie. But I think that what Tony Scott is doing again, Tony Scott is playing it straight. So I think that's why Clarence has to live at the end because it's an adult fairy tale and it's very violent, but it still has to have a happy ending.
Yeah, if Tarantino directed it, like it would have the more intensity kind of vibe, but less of the romance
I
vibe. And I
mean,
think
this movie is still very intense.
right, but like you could just imagine like his kind of like editing and sharp like cinematography versus this like music video type cinematography. You know what I mean? But that's
Yeah.
he still loves Tony Scott. Like he is like in awe of Tony Scott. Like it's always been like
Yes.
Tarantino's MO that he loves Tony Scott almost as maybe more than Ridley, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
Um
Tarantino has
because
said
he
nothing
loves
but
his visual style more so than Ridley. I think that's because that's basically what it breaks down to.
I think it
So
jives more with Tarantino's sensibility. I mean, yeah, Tarantino has always he's never Tarantino. I don't think even Tarantino had a problem with the ending being changed either.
I don't think so either. I think he was more upset with the stuff that Natural Born Killers did. And the strange thing about this is like they kind of started as one movie, and then I guess he sold the rights to this version of the movie to fund Reservoir Dogs, and then he sold another version of the movie to Oliver Stone, and essentially became a different movie. But that gets he's
And
got a
Natural Born Killers also was really bad. I really don't like that movie.
it's mixed feelings, but I like performances from the main cast, the main two. But you know what I mean? It's that intensity that Oliver Stone brings mixed with that high energy cocaine. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's called the I don't know officially call it the Oliver Stone cocaine energy style, but you know what I mean? It's
It
like
jives very poorly, I don't think.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, this movie, like I said, this is a fantasy movie. I love the references in this movie as well. Like, funny enough, a Spider-Man #1 reference, well timed. You know what I mean? We didn't mean
Yeah.
to do that. We didn't mean to time the Mexico ending that I argued for in Delma Luis last week. But wouldn't you know it, we got it this week.
Well, they
Uh,
didn't see the thing is they didn't drive home that they were going to Mexico, so that's why they were able to get away with it.
right? Yes.
They kept their damn
Essentially, they
mouth
flew.
shut.
Yeah, they flew, or well, I guess they flew too. Maybe I don't know, but and then we got the Johnson. Well, it's not really a Johnson and Johnson reference from Die Hard, but it's very much the same vibe. And we know how much Tarantino loves Die Hard, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was the influence for the two Chris Penn and Tom Sizemore characters
And of
because
course, Tom Sizemore
they got the
dies.
vibe.
Tom
Yeah, and
Sizemore has to go, man. Like I can't. It's
right,
worse than
and
Sean Bean. Like there
so
are movies I've seen Sean
yeah,
Bean in where he lives, but I have never seen Tom Sizemore make it.
for sure. Well, I think Relic. I think that's the only one.
Good
Maybe.
lord.
I could be wrong on that. I think he
But
did.
I mean, like the thing is like I think the three scenes that people probably remember most from this movie are the Dennis Hopper Christopher Walken scene, the one with Alabama and James Gandolfini. That's pretty vicious, and I know that some of the stuff got cut. I have the director's cut Blu-ray, so that's what I was watching. So I can't tell you what was cut, but that scene is pretty brutal.
Wow. So my version that I saw was the Amazon one through the Sony whatever extension free trial. And it was 2 hours and 1 minute. And your version was what, 2 hours and five, I'm guessing? Something like that, I
I
think.
think it was about the same. I mean, I think it sounds like we both saw the director's cut.
Okay. Because, yeah, the version I
That
saw,
might be the only cut that exists at
because,
this
like,
point.
okay, good. Because that's a good director's cut to have. But when I first saw this when I was younger, I distinctly remember that kind of version and it didn't seem different. So maybe I did see the director's cut originally, which is good. And of course, Gandolfini in that scene is like auditioning for Tony Soprano like years ahead. And it's weird because we know that he had auditioned for the role. And if I'm David Chase, I'm watching this like, you already have it, dude. You had it in '93. I would
I
have given it to you
mean,
then. But
yeah.
it's
I mean,
yeah.
he's a star in this one. Like that scene. I mean, it's pretty grisly, and I would genuinely understand people kind of being not into this movie because of that scene. But if you separate that out, I mean, Gandolfini is really, really good, and you could see why he went on to become Tony Soprano, just based on the limited amount of scene time that he has. I want to call out Brad Pitt because he survives by snitching, and I don't know how to feel about it.
He didn't even tell him he snitched, which is kind of eh. But look, I'll admit, when I started getting, into weed in college years, True Romance came up, and of course, the fucking Honey Bear bong comes up, and that was a thing in the paraphernalia world at the time. And yes, I have hit a honey bear bong, and it's not that great because it's plastic, and you really don't want to hit plastic. And every time I watch that, I'm like, dude, you're hitting plastic mostly because you need that fucking shit to breathe, and plastic is gonna melt. So I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but it's not like an apple. You know what I'm saying? Where you fucking drill a hole in an apple and smoke out of it, or a can. So it's just one of those things that I think they just made up, and it became iconic. But once you do it in college, it's like, this is fucking stupid. Can we just hit a regular bong, please? That's my
Okay,
that's my take.
so we're kind of bouncing around here. Did you find the scene with Dennis Hopper and Christian Slater emotional? Because I did.
The one where he accepts them and like is like say
Like the
goodbye
one
to him.
just before they leave. Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought that
it's
was
a great
like
piece of dialogue.
I think that's like one of my favorite Dennis Hopper like things I've ever seen him on screen because usually he's like a son of a bitch or he's going crazy in Texas Chainsaw 2 or he's getting stoned or something, right? But
Yeah,
him being the good dad is like so refreshing and you can tell like he's fucked up. He knows his son is fucking up, but because he knows like he's a kid too that he's just being the father figure that he needs and not judging him, which is a great thing to do. Yeah, just that whole in the stuff in the trailer when they were talking, just the way he was like able to hold himself and not yell at his kid for like, you show up on my doorstep after 3 years with a wife. What kind? You know what I mean? Like he didn't cuss him out. He was just like, get your shit together. Your wife is cute. Go have a family and be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like he
and we're
was
gonna
like
make out
very
for a
positive.
minute, which is really weird.
I think Patricia Arquette just wanted some. I just felt like she was leaning into it. Maybe she just wanted a kiss from an old legend, man. I don't know, because that's what it
I mean,
seemed like.
maybe you never
You never
know.
know, and she was happy with it, so it's all good. And it's like this happy ending in the middle of the movie that you know is not going to last, and it does not last at
Right.
all. So it's
It's a very nice moment there.
yeah, and then it
Uh,
switches over to Hollywood, like right at that moment. So
is there a more 1990 sentence than the following? Kristen Slater and Patricia Arquette have sex in a phone booth with her standing on a pile. I'm sorry, in a phone booth with her standing on a pile of phone books. Is there a more 1990 sentence than that?
um, I guess, man, because I mean, did you could have mentioned the cocaine that he was previously on the line doing a
Oh, that's
cocaine
right. Yeah,
deal.
I mean the cocaine was with them, so that
And
makes it
then
even more
the fact that
80s.
they're driving in a fucking convertible, you know what I mean? It's like a
I think they're
convertible in
going
the
for that.
desert.
I think they're
Yeah,
going for that timeless factor, which I think is
that's the other
good.
thing too. Okay, so this is where I get confused. I for some reason I used to think this took place in 1987 because they mentioned T.J. Hooker, right? But I guess the
But it's a
T.J. Hooker there
rebooted
it's a
TJ
reboot.
Hooker.
I always miss that part, so it is the 90s. It is
It
93,
is that it is.
but there was
I
never
think
an
it's meant to be
actual reboot of
contemporary.
T.J. Hooker. But reboots did happen on CBS a lot. So I thought, oh, maybe just Tarantino knew what was coming and kind of predicted this reboot city shit that's been going on with CBS for God knows how long. I mean, we've already had Hawaiian 5 twice, and both have had like 8 seasons each. So I don't know.
You've also got Michael Rappaport, who I personally can't stand. But I mean, he's fine in this role. But Bronson Pinochet, I have to say, like, what a great cast. But I mean, Bronson Pinochet is so good in this movie. I mean, just everything he does, like the meme of him having the cocaine on his face and smiling. He's pretty underrated. And Tony Scott, I don't know. I'm sure he got cast because of the fact that he was in Beverly Hills Cop 2. It was kind of a carryover from the first one. Like, I'm sure that's why he's in it, but he he's very, very good in this movie.
I think it's just because like he's a reliable comedic relief that you don't have to worry that might not hit because he'll definitely hit no matter what he does. It's almost like the Kelsey Grammer effect. You give him bad dialogue and he's still going to deliver it well and make you laugh. And that's the vibe I get from his casting. And it's everything he
Yeah.
says is funny, even though it's some of the stuff is stupid. Even though he's like crying for his life at the elevator, but like I just want to go home. And it's so funny and it's so like emotional too because he's sincere about it. So he's really good at delivering that dialogue. And then
Okay, so here's the question that I have when
okay,
Christian Slater doesn't shoot him in the elevator. Is that Christian Slater realizing the cops are like he is a snitch and he's just going along with it, or does he sincerely believe that he's okay? Because I could go either
okay.
way
So
on
my
this.
thinking is that he thinks he's with the mob, like he told the mob. I think that's what he thinks. Because after she gets beat up, it's like okay, someone said something, and of course they don't think of Brad Pitt,
So
so
and
they
he's not
assume
going
it's
to
him.
kill and he's not going to kill him at that point because then the mom's still going to come after
Yeah,
him
and why would you shoot a guy in
regardless.
an elevator when there's like, isn't there cameras in the elevator too? So you know what I mean? Like I think he just did to scare him and just to see if he was part of like whatever mob that was coming after or the mafia that was coming after him. And of course, the other mafia casting is great. I forget the other names, but it's like all the faces you've seen in every other mob movie,
Yes,
which is great.
it's
It's
great.
just fucking great. And then Chris Penn making fun of him with that accent. Oh my god, laughing my ass off.
Capisce.
I
It's really
know.
funny.
And then he got
Really,
revenge
really
for Tom
funny.
Sizemore, so that was great.
Saul Rubinek is on a fucking heater in this one. Like he's
So
coming in, he's throwing
he's Bob
fastballs.
Weinstein, isn't he?
I don't think so. I mean, I know that like the
Because
Weinsteins
he
are
specifically
producers.
says invest little in smaller pictures and make more.
He's not. He is not. I don't think that
Or maybe
his.
you know what? Maybe he's the guy. Maybe a little bit of the Canon guy. I forget his name. Golem. I forget his name. He
I
directed
think he
Over the
is
Top.
based on a producer, but it's not the Weinsteins.
Okay, because it's very.
Joel Silver. I knew it. It was Joel
So he's
Silver.
based on Joel Silver.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay,
could see
that's a
that.
weird one. I can kind of see it, but I don't know with that look with the 5 o'clock shadow going on. It had that Weinstein kind of ish vibe, but maybe just I don't
No,
know.
it's Joel
Maybe I'm
Silver,
just
and that makes
projecting
sense
way
because
too early on in the timeline.
Tony Scott worked with Joel Silver, and he would know that he was probably a cocaine fiend.
Yeah,
And
I can't
when
believe he shot Bronson Pinchot. By the way.
he didn't shoot him though, he
Oh yeah,
blew paint
sorry.
on him.
And then who shot him? God, it's like a Mexican shootout at the end,
It
like
is a Mexican
totally.
standoff.
But
I think it's Sizemore and Penn
okay,
that's where
someone,
the
yeah.
shooting
Oh
starts.
yeah, don't get away from him, and then he shoots the producer, and then okay, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's all crazy like that Inglorious Bastard scene, but
And
um,
Enemy of the State, which I feel like we need to talk about at some point
well, I haven't
because
seen it yet because I
I
don't know,
cannot.
kind of
How
mixed
have you
feelings.
never seen Enemy of the
Is
State?
that the one that's the sequel to The Fugitive?
No, it's the one with Will Smith, and he's being videoed everywhere.
Okay,
And it's
so
got like
that's U.S. Marshals. Sorry, guys, that's U.S. Marshals. I think
Enemy of
actually.
the State. It's like Gene Hackman is like basically like
Oh, I'm
people think.
confusing Gene Hackman with Tommy Lee Jones. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so people think that he's playing his character from The Conversation in Enemy of the State.
Oh, so it's one of those things where it's like a pseudo sequel, but not an official sequel, right?
Yes, kind of. I mean,
Got it.
it's like Sean Connery as
Yeah,
James Bond in The Rock. It's that
got,
vibe.
gotcha.
We have to talk about Boris and Monty because they might be my two favorite characters now.
Okay, so one is Thor, and I forget the other guy's. He's. I've seen him in other things, but one is
So
definitely.
Monty calls them pigs, and Boris has the best piece of dialogue in the movie. Not really, but it's pretty great. Brian, do you want to reenact it?
Thor hates cops.
No, no, no,
Basic.
that's not his line.
Oh, sorry. What was the other line? Because
His
that was the
line is,
line that I was
"Hey
going
Lee,
for.
you know what I realized? I hate cops." It's great. It's so
Yeah,
great.
yes. Oh man, the even those guys were like, "Are you sure you want to let this guy in with a gun?" And the guy's like, "Oh, get some coffee." You know what I mean?
I
That
mean, the thing is
casualness.
that he's not wrong. Like Clarence wasn't going to shoot anyone.
I know. It's just the guy knew that, like, I don't know.
he,
He had that Spidey
he
sense
knew
that
that
something was gonna fucking go down. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it
he
was him or
wasn't wrong.
something.
He was definitely not
He
wrong.
knew his radar was correct, and the shootout goes down. And so I guess the alternate ending, he gets shot in the eye and dies. This one, he gets grazed on the eyebrow, and I guess it burns his
Yes.
eye, and I guess he's wearing an eye patch now. Fast
Yep.
forward 3 years
He's a
later, they
pirate.
have a kid. Very much like Shawshank Redemption, I guess. Those happy kind of like getaway endings. So yeah, it's a happy ending. That's what I wanted from Delma and Louise. But
Kind
sometimes
of.
you
Kind of.
kind
I
of
mean,
okay. So the
yeah.
dad's dead, but I don't even know that. I think he just might think he's still alive at this point. But and the other thing too, Christopher Walken's still lurking out there. So you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, but I think he's going to kind of give up.
he
I
probably just
don't.
gave up. Yeah, and of course
Yeah.
Gary Oldman. My goodness, like
What an accent.
what a
What an
what
accent.
what is it? Because he keeps referring to black people as like as if he is black, but then refers to other black people as if he's not black, not in those words. But you know what I mean? It's like he's a racially confused person, which is a great concept for a character. Like I love it, but just the way he refers to other races, fucking great. for that character.
Okay,
Uh,
I need to get Boris's quote right because this is really important to me. So what? They're cops. Who gives a shit? Hey Lee, there's something I never told you about me. I hate fucking cops. That's great.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, 2 for 1 special because you got to put in context. They have machine guns, and the cops have regular guns, and maybe one shotgun or two. So they're doing the math in their head like we could spray them and get them all. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they were trying to say, and we can get away with it. But the funny thing is like these are bodyguards to the producer, and the producer like had no idea that this was even in them. They're like, "It's cops. What are you doing?" Like, I hate cops.
The irrational hatred
I
of the
know
police.
it's so great, and it comes to fruition. That guy gets a full arc in like 5 minutes, so credit to Tarantino on that. You know what I mean? You introduce a character in the
And
third
Tony
act,
Scott. I mean, it's Tony Scott's movie. Like he's the director, so
and then yeah, and then
he
Chris Penn gets shot too, and that's the third time I've seen him die in a movie. So I don't know what your Tom
he
Sizemore
took
total
his
is.
jacket off like an idiot.
I know, and he got revenge and still was out in the open, didn't hide undercover. So I don't know.
So I think it's interesting that when Gandolfini and Patricia Arquette are talking, quote unquote, he talks about killing two people and then like how you feel about killing after the second person. And Alabama ends up killing two people.
Yeah, so that's one more than Christian. No, Christian Slater killed 2 people, so they're about even, right? I think.
Kristen Slater kills like, yeah,
Oh
I
wait,
think so.
more than 2 people. I keep thinking of
He
the main
kills
two, but
the
everyone else in
yeoman,
the room too that
the
was eating Chinese
bodyguard.
food, I guess. But yeah, that scene, like you said, violence shot very well.
He's so good at it.
Yeah,
Like we saw this with the last Boy Scout too. Like it's the same thing. It's he's really good at shooting violence. Like he really makes the violence
and
feel
I guess what the
impactful.
Jackie Chan, maybe not Jackie Chan, but definitely the John Woo influence, right? Especially the scene where they're all getting their guns together. And the shootout does look like the John Woo shootout from A Better Tomorrow too, which
I
they
mean,
play
look at
in
how
the
much black
background in this movie, which is a yeah. So
and the cinematographer would go on to shoot a bunch of John Woo American movies,
so you know what I mean? It's
including
like
Mission Impossible 2.
so it's almost as if they wanted John Woo to like, hey, we know you can't direct this movie, but we're gonna tease you to come to America and then make a John Claude Van Damme movie that
I
very
don't
same
know.
year. Oh man. Can you believe it? This and Hard Target came out the same year, right? So
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
yeah. 8 out of 8.5
Yeah,
out of 10 for me. The beginning is kind
8.5
of
out of 10 for me.
wonky, but you know what I'm saying? It's you gotta get into it. You know, I hate that trope, but once you get past that,
I
it's an
mean, I think
acting
the
masterclass.
biggest crime is that if you partake in sex workers, I'm not going to judge you. I don't care, but don't try to save them. I mean, I that's the trope that really bothers me is the idea of a man saving a woman from being a sex worker. Like it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Like they're clearly portraying Alabama as being damaged. Most sex workers are not damaged people. So um, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there are modern movies that play into this trope, but it's just really stupid. And it's very much in line with something that Tarantino would do. But I hope it's something that we kind of get away from because it's really stupid. But I digress. Brian, what are we talking about next week?
Well, one of the big reasons I wanted to do this month because I'd never seen Deja Vu. I'd seen a clip on TV recently that kind of blew my mind, and I was like, I missed this movie when it came out. And
This is
believe me, yeah,
late stage. This is late stage Tony Scott too.
yeah, and I started working at Blockbuster when this came out on DVD, and everyone rented this movie, and everyone asked me about it, and I was like, I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like into it, not knowing what it was like the time travel aspects of it. So I regret that, and now that I know, I'm in for a treat because I kind of didn't spoil myself for the rest of the movie. So I'm really digging what's coming from what I've seen. So it's Val Kilmer again, and Val Kilmer was in this movie, by the way, and you wouldn't even notice it because
Yeah,
for all you could know, it could have been Bruce Campbell for all you know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a generic Elvis performance.
I think his voice is pretty distinctive.
I couldn't tell. I just couldn't. Maybe just because I've seen like Bubba Hotep kind of recently, like 6 months ago. So maybe that kind of influenced me because I hear when I hear Elvis impersonations now, I think of um,
I think you can
Campbell
tell it's Val Kilmer over Bruce Campbell because it's much darker than I think Bruce Campbell could take it.
for sure. And Bubba Hotep is a movie we might have to check out one day in the coming episodes
Maybe.
because that's another
But
hidden
yeah,
gem.
so we are going to be discussing Deja Vu, and then we will end the month by talking about what might be Ridley Scott's best movie? Question mark. Like, I don't know. I might put it
Don't
above.
say that in front of the Blade Runner fans. You know how they feel.
I don't know, man. The Martian is pretty incredible, and Matt Damon should have won an Oscar for it. That's going to be my
Matt
hot
Damon,
take.
come home. Matt Damon, come home. We'll talk about that whole
Yeah, we are going to talk
genre
about
movie.
that. So again, make sure you check out the YouTube channel. We will be having episodes posting all throughout this week and next week with discussions of Batman, Cape Crusader, X-Men 97, plus the usual episodes that also go up on the podcast feed for Brian and Jerome. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you again soon.